camera. I think we're live, guys. Hey. Oh, long day in Nashville. Sean Hammond, John Bollinger, Jason Shadrick, Perry Bean. We're at Summer NAMM 2017 in Nashville. We just got done with the first day of NAMM here. We are actually just up above the floor out there. And we're here to talk about our picks for the day. Yes. The stuff that we saw a crap load of stuff. We thought we'd pick the high crap in the best sense of the term, of course. I guess I should pause to celebrate the occasion. This is actually John Bollinger's first time at NAMM with Premier Guitar. I don't think you've been here in years, right?
Like 6, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah. Since you've been at a NAMM.
Yeah. No, I love NAMM. I love NAMM.
You're just too damn busy playing with people around town.
I get stuff. But
He's got stuff. Boy, does he have stuff.
This was a blast. Yeah.
Okay, so this was John's first day at NAMM with us.
Yeah.
Why don't we lead with you talking about?
Oh, great.
I mean, whether you want to talk about your picks or just like feelings being at the NAMM floor in a brand new convention center.
Yeah. When I was here before, it was in the old place that is. You know, there's no windows. It's
like an abandoned mall. From a zombie movie.
But this was great and saw some great stuff. Can I talk about one of the great things I saw?
Please. Kidding. Yes.
Can you all see this?
Get way up there and hold it for a minute.
That's good.
Don't knock over the camera.
That's
good.
Yeah.
Okay. My buddy Brian Nutter, we were in a band together years ago. Did like a TV thing together, and at the time he was playing with Keith Urban.
We should probably talk really loud.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know if people are.
He was playing with Keith Urban at the time, and after Keith Urban hit with somebody like you, everybody in Nashville started using Git-Joes, banjo guitars, a 6-string banjo. And it became like a stable of recording. They were everywhere. And so we all had to buy them. And if you had a 5-string banjo, it would not catch the same, you couldn't get the same, it wouldn't sound the same. It wouldn't be the same voicing as a 6-string. So Brian ended up building this double neck Git-Joe / guitar. And it is awesome. It's shocking how good it felt, or how good it sounded. He shrunk the head way down.
It's a Remo drum head.
Yeah,
tiny little Remo.
Yeah, tiny one, and it really took
maybe
out
6 inches, maybe.
Yeah, took out a lot of the feedback, gave it all that banjo kind of pop, and it was really loud. And then the guitar side of it sounded equally great with a
gold
foil pickup.
And who builds this now?
Brian Nutter, who was he's been a musician in Nashville forever, and he just started this company, and it was cool. It was a really neat thing. So I love that, and it's cool to see your buddies do something. So that was great. And then the Third Power amp. What was that? The Woolly.
So they have a new Woolly Coats. The Third Power amplification also is Woolly Coats amps, but they made a Sparky Mark II.
Yeah.
Which was awesome because it had a master level control, so that you could really. I mean, that thing. Like at a low volume, sounded awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool.
It was great. And it was about the size of a little Fender Champ.
Yeah.
Just tiny.
Very small.
Sounded great. And those guys are just,
like 6L6s?
Don't know.
I'm not sure what he put in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's 6B6.
6B6, I think.
Yeah. But we filmed that today. And it's just...
Jamie's always cool to talk to at Third Power. If you guys don't know about Third Power amplification, they're based here in East Nashville, Tennessee, really close to my house, but Jamie, the guy that owns and runs the business, is kind of a mad scientist of sound.
Yeah.
I think he told us today he's invented over 80 products in 6 years, 40 products in 6 years.
Yeah, I think he's got 40,
Which is crazy. I don't know if you guys, he actually invented developed the Line 6, I think it's called the G6 Relay, their new wireless.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this guy just invents everything, but his amps are awesome. But what I thought was really cool about his booth today, because his amps always sound great, but he invented these weird this system of pickups where instead of stationary pole pieces, he had Alnico 5s on the really heavy strings, 4s in the middle, and then 3s on the low strings. So I guess his idea was to have, to see if it would be way more balanced. And I thought those things sounded really damn good.
Yeah, I would have liked to have heard them A-B to something.
Me
like you
too,
have a
and not on the
PAF.
NAMM floor.
Yeah, and then you hear people talk about stuff like that, and you have no comparison.
Yeah.
It's like, is it better or not? So I didn't know.
Yeah,
But
I'd love to hear it recorded for sure.
yeah, I dug the whole spirit of the guy, though. He's just inventing things.
You're losing your voice, aren't you?
I kind of am.
I was losing mine at the end of the day too. I feel like I'm like getting a sore throat or something. Too much yakking.
You just hit it. You just went too hard on the first day, John.
I went
You weren't
hard,
ready.
man. Went hard. Well, and there was a party last night, a PG party.
That was not.
Nah.
We disavow that.
Yeah. Okay,
We had
so
a good
those
time.
are my picks. That cool Nutter guitar / banjo, and the power third power amp. Very cool.
Cool.
Okay. Peace.
See, I think that one of the coolest things I saw here was you guys did a JD McPherson rig rundown.
Right.
You
Right.
did that
Oh
one,
yeah.
right? I don't know what 6-8 months ago.
Actually, a little longer. I think that might have been like a year and a half
Been
ago.
a year.
Yeah.
It was actually one of my favorite rig rundowns to do because of his wacky guitar. That thing
Weird
is so
guitars,
cool.
and they're styled after. They're made by this luthier TK Smith. He makes them all by hand, the old school way, like Paul Bigsby, the guy who invented the Bigsby vibrato. He used to make guitars for like Merle Travis, and I mean, like what, almost 100 years
Oh
ago.
yeah.
And if you watch the JD McPherson rig rundown, you'll see the guitars with the curly upper bouts and the cast aluminum bridges and
Weirdest
vibrato and
appointments. He
everything.
uses actual Bakelite and stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest, coolest thing. Yeah.
So his guitars are like works of art, and they're priced like works of art because they're meticulously made by hand.
Right. Serious man hours.
So he came to his first NAMM show here, and I mean his regular guitars, which he probably only makes a handful every year, they go for like 10, 12 grand. It's a lot.
Really?
Um,
How did JD buy one?
that's JD.
Yeah.
So he brought his, admittedly, people are going to be like, this is a $6,000 production guitar. So this is cheap for what TK Smith does. Obviously, it's still a lot of money, but it's still cool to see that he was able to streamline some of the stuff and show. Let me get a little closer with that. This is, I'm getting total glare. Sorry, guys. All right, so this is called the Roadmaster. And it is a 25-inch scale chambered maple guitar with an ebony fretboard, like bird's eye maple top and back. Some of the cost comes down because he doesn't have like fancy inlays. He doesn't have the fancy veneers on the headstock.
Cool.
It doesn't. Some of the, I guess, the pickup surrounds are CNC cut and stuff. Because I guess when he does the aluminum casting by hand, like it's a very arduous process of like you get it out of the mold and you have to like file down the rough edges and stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
So some of it's CNC, but anyway, it was just cool to see him there. He's a super classy guy. Oh, and also, did you see the 1939 Gibson amp there that we heard it
that's
through?
cool, man.
Oh, wow.
We'll have the video for that up not too long. It was really cool.
Did
cool
you
to see
get
that.
to play it at all?
I didn't get to play anything today. It's kind of how it
nature
goes
of
in
the
the
beast,
shows
yeah.
for us.
I held a
most of
few
the time.
things.
Yeah.
You know.
I wonder what that thing felt like.
You can ask Sean, the guy, the PG fan named Sean. I can't remember his last name. He was at the Chet Atkins festival in town. Came
Oh,
over.
cool.
He and TK are buddies. And
Sean
he-
Weaver?
No, I think it started with an M. Miller, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, Sean. He demoed for us, and he was super stoked. He's a huge fan of you guys, of
Cool.
us, and he was like so stoked that just by chance TK got him to come over and play on one of our videos. So
Cool.
look for
That's
that, guys.
That's great.
All right, mine was the one I saw that I was kind of excited, and we got to shoot a video with him, is the new Jason Isbell. Let's see if that's glaring or not.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
The new Jason Isbell Martin D18. So Jason was only he had a gig like last night, and tonight he's playing in Austin. So he just flew in for literally like 2 hours to
Just for this,
Well,
just
just
for the
for,
video with us.
He
Yeah.
heard I was going to be
Duh.
there. He likes hanging out with dudes named Jason. And so we did it. And I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, you can probably pick up, he's a funny dude. It was a fun video.
Very fun.
But the thing was, we're on this big, loud NAMM floor, and he picks it up and just, like, he didn't dig into it, but he just strums a chord. And this could be probably the loudest acoustic I've ever heard.
I would definitely argue it's the loudest. So
It's so loud.
he worked with Martin. Apparently, it has no pick guard because they measured 5 dB
Boost.
difference in sound
It
without.
dampens the top.
It really,
Yeah, it does.
Really?
So they
And-
made very, very, they're very deliberate about how the appointments on the top were because they wanted it to.
Yeah, and I
Very
would say a
light
plain, I mean, there's obviously Martin has more guitars that have more intricate inlays and stuff like that, but it has kind of his little symbol around the 12th fret, and it's a rather plain guitar, but it's, he said he grew up, playing his grandpa's D18 and stuff, and so this was kind of, and you still get the feeling, even though he's a big famous rock star now, you still get the feeling that, like, he's still kind of freaking out that he has, like, a signature
giddy
guitar.
about it.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know what I mean? Like, you can just see when he's
Cool.
sitting there holding it, you kind of look at it, and he's like, wow, this is kind of like my guitar. And he has it out on the road with him now. And it sounded great, and he was super funny, super fun video. He talked a lot about kind of his history going back when he was a kid with Martin guitars and what kind of led him to specific design elements.
They changed
not
a little bit. They backshift bracing. and
Yeah.
Very, very minimal appointments. It's a normal headstock. I kind of love that about it. He said, "I'm a simple man. I wanted a simple guitar."
Yeah. It's a 14 fret. Has an Adirondack spruce top with mahogany back and sides, and it has the 1939 neck profile. Because he was playing the Authentic series, but the thing was those don't have truss rods. So this one does. So,
Yeah.
which
And-
is, we were like, authenticity is cool to
I
a
take
point.
neck warpage.
Right.
There have
Yeah.
been good modern technological advances since 1939 in guitar making that are, not horrible.
Yeah,
And
totally.
How much
honestly,
does it go for again?
It's, I think,
$6,000.
around $6,000.
yeah.
Pick that up with the TK Smith and
It's funny.
Yeah.
He specifically mentioned. I'd love to give a shout out to Michael Back and Forth, who is Jason's tech.
Yes.
And why he did the truss rod is because Bethencourt has probably 28 guitars. He's the only tech on the whole tour, and he techs for everybody in the band. So they call his name is Michael Bethencourt, but they call him Michael Back and Forth because he's like, if you go to see Jason Isbell live, you'll see one dude just getting it. And so he wanted him to be able to set it up quickly and easily and really get it in tip-top shape. So I thought that was really
he did
cool.
make a point. He's like, I wanted this to be a fairly easy
Simple
maintenance
guitar.
thing
Yeah.
for him because, he has other guitars that require
Sure.
much more
Yeah.
maintenance.
If you haven't seen the Jason Isbell rig rundown, you're missing like
Oh,
an entire
awesome.
Set aside like an hour plus.
gallery of beautiful
Yeah.
guitars. Yeah.
And he said he's changed everything up. For
Yeah.
the most part, amps and stuff.
We talked to him today about a possible rig rundown in the future. He's got all new amps, brand new record, and I've seen him playing some mystery guitars. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens
Go
with
see
that.
him.
Cool.
Go see him.
sweet.
Yeah.
Ferry, what do you got?
I would say, all right, so definitely that Jason Isbell guitar was killer. In the electric world, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Fuzz Roche's pedals, but we saw this really cool pedal today, and a couple things I love about this pedal. 2 knobs, volume, and then this
Get
other
closer.
mystery knob. So what the knob in the middle does is it changes the fuzz diode. So it's like 12 different fuzz boxes in one
Wow.
in one box. So literally, it was funny. He was just like, hit a note and click,
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 click.
click, and you could.
So it's kind of like, wasn't it called
The Feed Me, it's kind of similar to that.
I think it's similar to that, and it
But
has
with
some sort
exponentially less possibilities, because that had like hundreds of thousands of
I
possibilities.
think it was like a simpler
Yeah.
idea, yeah. But it actually sounded really, really good. I'm not a huge fuzz fan. I'm more of a distortion guy, but that thing sounded awesome.
Sweet. How much? Again? Any idea?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about
Whatever.
that, guys.
Yeah.
However, he did say it is available now, so I'm sure if you go to his website, you can probably find out and hear some sound bites. Or if you wait a couple days, we'll have a video up for you to check out on that.
Anybody else? Anything stand out for
Yeah.
you guys? Anything else?
I didn't get a chance to hear this pedal. I'm gonna go back tomorrow and hear it, but it was so cool looking.
That looks like a skateboard.
That's what it is.
Oh, that's
skateboard.
So
right.
check this out.
And you can press it.
Dr. Acid, I believe is the company, LSD
It's the
Drive.
LSD drive.
So if you check it out, so the yellow thing, that is a skateboard wheel that turns. It's the button, obviously, and it
You can
turns.
also click it.
And you can also click it, yes. And then there's the one knob on top.
right, a little.
I don't really have any idea what it does, other than probably makes things louder
who
and
cares?
gnarlier.
I've just never seen it.
But,
Yeah.
but I am going back to find out what that does. That was my reminder.
Don't lose your
Oh,
head,
you didn't
man.
hear it.
I didn't even hear it. It was at one of those booths that had, it was like the boutique pedals that had maybe 4 or 5 different companies at one
Right,
pedal.
yeah.
And we were doing another video there, and it caught my eye, and I was like, I'm gonna take a picture of it. And the guy who was making it, I think, was busy or wasn't around, but I'm gonna go back tomorrow and check it out.
Yeah, there was great stuff. I'm looking
Definitely.
forward to seeing it
Yeah.
all tomorrow.
You got any more?
Well, I'm a little punchy right now, so I don't remember names of anything.
I'll tell you one thing I was totally blown away with. There's the 9. There's a new redesigned by Andy Powers 9. I think it was like a 916, something in the 900 series. Yeah, Taylor guitar,
Oh, yeah,
and
right.
it is just sexy, man. I think it was a
Man.
Cadillac. The appointments were just slick and beautiful, and they put that
Into
really.
the camera, we're getting the sun
Oh, we're getting some
moving on
sun
us.
now.
The sun moves. Did you know that, guys?
Oh yeah, look at
I've
that.
heard these things.
And we're getting major glare unless the heavens are opening up on Perry.
I'm getting raptured, guys. I'll have to
All right.
Yeah.
catch you
So
on the
talk
Rapture
flip
in
about
side.
Nashville.
Taylor before we get blasted with
You're
sun.
probably the most unlikely candidate.
So anyway, Taylor Guitars is always coming up with innovative designs, and I think that's awesome.
Oh man, how about that Academy Series?
Oh my
jet
God,
skirt?
that's what I was getting at. There
I
was
like that even better.
they just, I'm sure you guys have seen the Academy series by now. They're like their student model guitars that actually sound incredible. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, check out our review of the Academy series. I think
The 10
Dreadnought.
Yeah, we did did a first look in a video that
Beautiful sounding guitar, but they just released their first nylon string version of the Academy series, and it sounds awesome.
Killer, yeah.
It was really fun to play, and it sounded really good.
Yeah,
That's about all I
loud.
got.
Shocking.
I got one
I saw
more.
that, yeah.
Should I close it up with this?
Yes.
So that back wall where TK Smith was had lots of cool stuff, and a couple other guitar companies.
Kind
But
of
they're
like Hall E.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the back wall. This company from Latvia called Plus Pedals. I've never heard of them before. This is their first NAMM. Had a huge crew of guys, and I was like, man, you have a lot of people here for considering how far you've come there. And they're like, we've been working on this pedal for 2 years. We all deserved a vacation. So it's just called the Plus pedal, I guess. I don't know if you can see it in the glare of this insanity, but it looks like a, jeez.
A piano system.
It looks like a piano sustain pedal, and
It has some sort of hole function.
it's, yeah. And admittedly, I've never like played with other pedals on the market that you tap and hold or freeze function. It seemed different from all the others I've heard in a way like you could add layers. Can you do that with like the others on the market?
I think the freeze you can, yeah.
But it had really, really nice sound, and the guy who designed it, I think he's the guy who designed it, the guy who talked to us, said that it just digitally samples everything after the attack, and it just sounded really cool. It sounded like a David Lynch soundtrack. Like you could buy this thing and just...
Is it? It looks big.
It's kind of big,
Big.
but it was just like a super easy way to add
Ambient.
bizarre ambient stuff in the background,
Cool.
and there's a side chain loop. So, and he had like a reverb and a fuzz and a delay or something off on the side. It was just
Wow.
sounded really cool.
What's
Cool.
the wet pedal?
And then it has like this side, this other pedal you can add. It does this wet function. I don't know. There was a little bit of a language barrier, but your English is way better than any other language that I try to speak. But so I'm not super clear on what the wet pedal does. It's an add-on, but it was really cool. Plus pedals. Check them out.
Yeah,
Cool.
Check it out.
Love that.
So as Perry gets sucked up
Swallowed.
into the rapture, we'll just sign off, guys. We'll be here tomorrow telling our editor's picks from day 2 of NAMM. Thanks for joining us.
Man,
See ya.
feel like a woman.
Later.